get those candles out and prepare to stay in the dark for longer. Stage 6 power cuts are now underway until 10 o'clock tonight. Stage 4 will then return until midnight. The Battle Power Utility says that's due to the unprotected and unlawful labour action underway by Eskom employees. eNCA reporters are joining us now from different parts of the country. We've got Nobesuthu Hejana out and about in Cape Town, Moloko Moloto in Bloemfontein, MANGAUNG in the Free State, and Nqobile Madlala here in Johannesburg, the city of gold in Gauteng. Let's start with you, Moloko, in Bloemfontein. What's the situation like now? We are already into stage 6, as announced a short while ago this afternoon by Eskom, until 10 o'clock tonight.
Hello, brother. And indeed, we are coming to you live from Phahameng Township, just about 5 or 7 kilometers outside the capital city, Bloemfontein. And when we left Bloemfontein a few minutes ago already, we could see that a lot of traffic lights were not functioning. I'm not too sure really, Braden, whether that was because of this implementation of stage 6 load shedding or whether the traffic lights were simply not functioning. I tried to reach out to the municipality just to give us clarity, but as I said, we have arrived in Phahameng, the township outside Bloemfontein, just to check on the impact of this load shedding or blackouts, particularly on small businesses, as we always told that small businesses are the mainstay of any economy. They create jobs. But let me speak to one of the business owners here. Sir, thank you so much for agreeing to speak to us. Firstly, what type of business do you operate, and what is the impact of this load shedding on your business?
I'm trading a liquor business for 35 years. So what was the other question?
No, my question is, how does load shedding affect your operations here?
The load shedding, it does 100% because in my business, you can't sell hot beer, cold drinks, and so on. Secondly, sometimes at 5, when people knock off, they have to come and buy to us. There's a load shedding. It affects us, whereby we have to cut our staff because most of 4 or 5 hours, there's no light.
Yeah, somebody would say, is it difficult for you perhaps to buy a generator? Can you afford one?
I cannot afford. I could have long bought it. And I'm worried stage 6 is coming. So I'll have to close my business on those hours, whereby it's an impact to me.
And I guess when you close your business, you certainly are going to lose on income. But let me quickly also bring another businessman. Say, specifically, how do you get to be affected by load shedding?
Say it's very it's affecting us 100% badly, because now we have to close while everyone while people have to come here. So we are losing a lot of.
What do you sell, say?
I'm selling a chisanyama here. So of which we have fridges. So some like the lights, like every electricity has been cut out, so we can't store the meat. So obvious we're losing so much.
Yeah. Just finally, were you informed? Were you aware about the timelines as to when exactly it's going to start and when it would end?
No, we didn't know anything, because now we just they're just telling us they're implementing this load shedding by this time, so we don't get so much time to prepare ourselves.
All right, brother, and there you have it. The impact surely is going to be felt by those who are trying to eke out a living, utilizing their talents and their entrepreneurial skills. And as to how this will be allowed to continue, we all wait to see.
Okay, Moloko, thank you very much there in Bloemfontein. Let's leave you then, get onto the N1 highway and go south to the mother city. Nobesuthu, what's happening there in the mother city this hour?
Well, Braden, in the city or rather the sunny mother city, we know that the city of Cape Town currently have its own customers on stage 4, but those who are supplied by Eskom, they are currently load-shedded and they're experiencing stage 6. But we're in Sea Point just to talk to some of the people and about the impact of this. I'm joined by Tracy Cohen. Tracy, I was speaking to some residents in Manenberg, and obviously they shared how frustrating this is for them, and especially during the night, where if the power goes off, it makes way for criminals. Just talk to us about the frustrations of these continuous rollouts of blackout.
I think it's a complete and utter travesty. Words actually fail me. I remember we've got a business, and we actually got a generator about 14 years ago in 2009, thinking, it's going to be 1 or 2 years of load shedding, but we needed it for our business. It's now 13 years down the line, and not only are we in load shedding, but every day we're in load shedding. It's pitch dark here. I'm fortunate that I have a generator in my apartment where I live, but my heart bleeds and I cry for those poor people that are living in the most heinous of circumstances at the best of times. Their life is every day is a struggle. Now they come home, pitch dark, they have to walk 5 minutes, 10 minutes to a toilet in the pitch dark. Crime must be rampant. It's a constant cycle, compounded by COVID, compounded by homelessness, compounded by food prices escalating. It's going to be a humanitarian crisis in this country. It's an absolute heart sore what is happening here. I think it's terrible.
Sure, and you're talking about having a generator. Obviously, that has to come with some financial impact. Just tell us about such. Obviously, you've had to adapt. Yeah. That means you're using more money to ensure that you have enough should there be a blackout.
Well, we've got two. We've got a generator in our office, which we had to get, because if we didn't have a generator, we would have lost data and we couldn't run a business like that. It was a huge expense for us at the time, and we contemplated for months whether or not we should get it. So that's on that side. But home, I'm fortunate that I have that generator, but obviously that comes at an expense. Levies increase. It's a worry because we have continual load shedding. Will we be able to? I've got a daughter writing matric finals. What about the people in the townships and the informal settlements that have got that children are writing matric or in school writing exams? Now they have to have paraffin lamps. Then the paraffin lamps accidents happen. It's a never-ending cycle here, and I can't see the way out of it for these poor people. I really can't. So for me, it's okay, but I don't only live in a city where it's only me. I live in a city where we walk in the street and they're homeless lying all over the place. So I don't know what the situation is, and it's terrible because there's no end in sight. It's years and years and years of mismanagement, of theft, of stealing, of corruption, and it breaks my heart. It actually breaks my heart what's happening in the city and in this country. I find it heartbreaking.
Sure. And what do you think should be done? Because over the years we've been talking about this, dealing with this, but there's never an ending solution.
I don't know. Sometimes you just have to, I don't know, but sometimes we just go like this. I don't know what the solution is. This country is magnificent. We're standing here. It's middle of winter. It's 25 degrees. We're looking at this pristine ocean. Look at the beautiful mountains, the beautiful trees. And on the facade, it looks magnificent. But scratch beneath the surface, nothing works here. Nothing. And it's just, I don't know. I think that people are at their wits' end, and I'm concerned, very concerned, what the poor of the poorest are going to do over this time. The poorest, I don't know what they're going to do.
Thank you very much. Well, Braden, that was Tracy Cohen here in Cape Town, Sea Point, obviously talking about some of the frustrations and having to adapt, buying a generator, but still over the years she's still experiencing, like many other South Africans, the rollouts and the continuous blackouts by Eskom.
Let's find out the picture now in Johannesburg. Nqobile Madlala, where are you at this hour and what are you seeing? We are already a few minutes into stage 6 of load shedding, as announced by Eskom a little bit earlier this afternoon.
Well, Bradan, as the stage 6 does start, we still find ourselves in the city of Tshwane, but we are about to make our way to the city of Gold, Bradan. You will know earlier on we were speaking about the issues that are faced by the stations, that people have to live nearer. Now, we are with some of the community members here who are now, again, on top of that, affected by now stage 6. It's quite difficult, a lot for students, and I want to bring in one of the students students that is already in the tertiary level. And we were just having a chat, Bredan, earlier on, and he was telling me how difficult it is for him to think of the stage 6. So I'm going to let him speak for himself. Tell us, how does it affect you now that we are going into stage 6? Is it affecting you in any way in school?
Yes, it's affecting us very much in school. Like, we can't do, when you get assignments from school, and then those assignments have to work with data, like to get what you need from the internet. We cannot go and research, because if our phones are flat halfway and then we get to the house and there is no electricity, how are we going to do our assignments? Especially for us that have laptops that are connected to the to electricity for us to use the internet. So if we don't have that, we can't do our assignments, especially if we're like living alone or with our grandmothers. We can't do nothing.
I think if I'm hearing you clearly, that you're saying also there's no way of charging the equipment that you need for school. Are you saying that this affects you now in school? Will it affect your marks?
For me personally, not now, but back in the day, yes, it was affecting me. Like last year, it was affecting me a lot, because every day the electricity would go out and come back after 4 or 5 or not even 2 days at a time. So it was affecting me hard at my marks and my performance at school.
And I know that you are studying business, and of course you are hoping that in future you will be in business, you were telling me. Now, do you think that the problem that is happening now could potentially happen when you get into business, and how would you avert it?
Hopefully not. By the time I get to my business, the electricity will be perfect, because government is always, they're promising us they will fix the stations and everything. They don't, but they don't do maintenance on their stuff. They have things like from 1994 and all that. So I don't know what to say about the government and the electricity, because they keep doing empty promises. Because they like to talk, but where's the action behind what they say? So I don't know what to say.
All right. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Let's bring you in, my leader. I mean, we were talking to you about quite a lot of issues that your people are facing. But now on top of that, you've got stage 6 load shedding. Just give me an idea. How have you lived with stage 4, and how is this going to be affected going to stage 6?
You know, we are subjected to an abuse of worst kind by Eskom. Really, there are, besides the economic impact, lives are at stake. There are people who are at home, they are on oxygen supply. In the absence of electricity, you are literally killing those people, because they are depending on electricity for survival. We've just heard the young person here speaking about the assignments at school and all that. So this is abuse. Eskom doesn't care about us. Maybe it's time as citizens, as a country, we just declared that Andre the Reiter must go. Because from where we stand, since he came in, he's acting like the CEO of darkness. He's taking us to the dark ages. There is no progress with this CEO being tasked with such a huge mammoth responsibility of Eskom. And maybe that is why on the 8th of July, as Sanko in Gauteng province will be embarking on a protest in Johannesburg. The entire citizens of Gauteng will be marching to go and make sure that our voices are being heard, that we can't anymore. This is, and we are expected to just be fine with it, as if nothing happened. I mean, we are talking about stage 6 here. It's not like we are it's in summer, it's in the middle of winter, it's cold. We are just recovering from COVID-19 now, and guys, Andre the Reiter must go. That is just what must happen for now. The guy has failed.
All right. Thank you very much. All sentiments there coming from Sanko, as well as the student that we found, saying that this is a difficult time, and of course you can hear just the frustration there, Bredan, as he speaks about the fact that they are looking to now taking further steps going forward.
Thank you very much, Nqobile Madlala in Johannesburg, Moloko Moloto in Bloemfontein, and Nobesuthu Hejana in Cape Town. Just giving us an update what's happening on the ground, as Eskom has just begun with stage 6 of blackouts until 10 o'clock tonight.